How rich are you?
Very.
How much money you made in the space that we're talking about right now? I see 90 million. I see.
Yeah. You know what's crazy about that 90 million in 90 days thing? I literally in the video say it generated 50 million in primary sales. There's been 41 million in secondary, which I get 10% of, which means it's 54 million. But I also carry a multi-million-dollar payroll. ETH goes up and down. Like there's costs. Yeah. Like I'm running I didn't make it. The company of V Friends made the 54. It's been a good long time. 25 years since something came along, which is the blockchain. Now, obviously it's been around, right? Bitcoin's been around, Ethereum's been around, but now it's consumerized, meaning everyone's aware of it. Like a lot of people have heard the term NFT. They don't know what it is. A lot of people think it's a scam or this and that, but like everybody thought the internet was a fad. Like everybody listening right now on the other device that you're attached to, just Google the internet is a fad and read unlimited articles by the Wall Street Journal, by professors, by real legit people saying, no, this is gonna be gone in 2 years. And that's what you're hearing right now about NFTs. Like, this is money laundering, this is a fad. And like, granted, I personally, and I put out this content every day, believe 98% of the projects right now are going to zero.
I agree, yeah.
Just like the internet stocks of 99, but the overall concept of NFTs and what it represents will affect every person listening and watching for the rest of our fucking lives.
Gary Vaynerchuk, poznatiji kao Gary Vee, je belorusko-američki preduzetnik, govornik, autor i internet ličnost. Postigao je ogroman uspjeh u oblasti digitalnog marketinga i društvenih medija i vodi vrhunske kompanije kao što su Vayner Media i VaynerX. Također je investitor i autor 5 bestsellera New York Timesa. Gary Vee je postao poznat i priznat u NFT prostoru, a od 2023. godine njegova neto vrednost se procjenjuje na oko $220 miliona. Pogledajte ovaj video do kraja i saznajte šta ima da kaže o tome šta su to NFT-evi, kako pronaći njihovu vrednost, kako prepoznati prevare i da li je kasno da počnete da učite o NFT-evima danas. Ovaj video sponzorisan je od strane Maxi Global menjačnice. Maxi Global menjačnica je jedna od menjačnica sa najboljom likvidnošću za futures trgovanja. Pored Bitcoina i Ethera, na ovoj menjačnici možete kupiti i preko 200 manje poznatih coina i tokena. Link ka menjačnici sa kodovima za popust nalazi se u opisu ovog videa.
What is an NFT?
It stands for non-fungible token. I believe the word can change. We used to call social media Web 2.0. Like, it could change, so don't even get caught up on it, but that's the term. What does it actually mean? It means that you can absolutely show and verify that you own something digitally. You own it. That's a brain fuck for the crew here, for me when I first got it, and everyone listening, because we weren't used to it. But what was a brain fuck for everybody in 1999 was the idea of people dating online. Everybody thought that was weird. That was like a 500-pound dude in his mom's basement. Now everybody fucking does it. It's DM and swipe left, it's all that. So what's funny for me is watching a lot of 28 to 50-year-olds really struggle and shit on this, and they don't realize they became their mom. Like, you used to make fun of your parents for not wanting to put a credit card into the computer. Now you are that by shitting on NFTs.
What are these apes like? What are they? Because I so you.
Before we go there, let me finish one point.
Go.
Let me go to one more 101 place. When people are like, well, I can just control, like, right-click and save. It's a JPEG.
Oh, they are.
Meanwhile, the amount of people that take photos in fake private planes, in fake watches, in fake Lambos, it's easier to fake in the real world than it is in the blockchain. If Bob took a right-click and saved the Bored Ape and put it on his profile, it's like, yo, here I am, I'm in the game. In 8 seconds, I can go to the blockchain and see if he actually owns it. You can fake it more in the real world than you can on the blockchain. People don't understand that.
It's like wearing like a fake chain or some shit. Like anyone can do that. You can.
But what he's saying is like,
yeah,
if there's a fake chain, you got to take it to a jeweler. He's got to bring out the magnifying glass, take a look at it.
See if the watch is real.
But let me say this. I'm incredibly empathetic to anybody who's listening who's like, this is fucking stupid. And I'm cool with that.
I think that's why I wanted to do this too. It's cool because we have a lot of those people.
And here's the best part. I could be 100% wrong. I'm just ready to talk to everybody who's listening and watching in 2037, and we'll see what's up. Like and me with that statement, I'm willing to take my L, but I don't think I will.
Where does it like become like a scam though? Where does it
It's
become
not
where
the-
it could
I mean,
be?
Bob, there was on OpenSea, which is one of the biggest marketplaces where
It's
you buy
the
and sell.
eBay of NFTs right now.
Yeah, it's the eBay of NFTs. And there was over $1 billion in transactions last month. You know, but what's crazy is there's less than 2 million wallets on there.
There was $1 billion in transactions in the last 4.5 days on
Right.
OpenSea.
So,
There was
I
$1 billion
mean-
last month because people were tax harvesting, so there was less action. As soon as we flipped the new year, the first 6 days of January, there's been $1 billion.
With less than 2 million people on OpenSea.
When I first saw it, I kind of thought it was stupid too, but then when I realized like what you said, like 98% of the projects are going to go to zero, that's when I really like started to understand. And like when you see those 2% of projects that actually are going to do something, that's when I really started to understand like the value of it. So I think that's
right where it's like, okay, wait a minute. My instincts is for people watching. And by the way, I saw this in 2017 with CryptoKitties. I was like, this is insane. Owning, like, it would like broke my brain, and I left it. I was like, nah, like I don't have time for this right now. This is too crazy. I don't understand. But when I really did a ton of homework on CryptoPunks in late 20, going into last year in 2021, what happened since 17 was I know that every kid that's 10 is willing to spend every dollar of their parents on a skin on Fortnite to flex digitally, not physically. I know why. This is a very cool room right now. If you look around, what people are wearing, what hat, what haircut they have, it's all just communication, right? And so everyone's just communicating through their clothes, through their what they drink, what they buy. Like the biggest form of communications that humans do is buy shit, whether it's a home, a car, a meal, or clothes. It's the biggest form, more than your words, more than what you write. It is what you buy. And as this goes digital, it's the biggest market of them all. And once everybody understands that this is going to eat up the world and what it actually means, or more importantly, when you say, why would somebody want to own something digital? Well, why the fuck do you want a blue check mark on Instagram? Why do you want 1 million followers on TikTok? That's digital. You want social currency. It's the human race. It's how we fucking live.
But I think the biggest thing, Gary, is why Kyle and I really wanted to talk to you is we have a very loyal fan base.
Yep.
And we haven't launched anything yet. You know, we haven't launched anything yet because we're very mindful of when we launched, you know, what do they get other than the flex?
Correct.
What more can we do? How, if someone goes and spends their hard-earned money, whatever it is, $1,000, $10,000, whatever it is, what do they really get other than the flex?
I mean, Bob, back to, like, just to pick it up, like, back to what you were saying about, like, I don't get it. Like, my response is real. It's the homework. Like, you're going to have to put in the homework. Like, it's too new and complex, which is why everyone thinks it's a scam, which is why everybody thought the internet was a fad. This is like some, like, going the man to the moon things.
Crazy.
Then here's a little thing that's interesting. To John's point, there's a digital image. It could be known as a collectible. A Jackson Pollock sells for $100 million. 50 years ago, 70 years ago, people thought that was just splashing paint in the Hamptons when the Hamptons wasn't the Hamptons, out bumblefuck New York, and worth nothing. So yes, there's the collectability. The big thing with NFTs is there's a contract attached to the image. The smart contract, verifiable, by no server, by third party, right? That's the punchline. What you put in that contract is what's interesting. So for example, with VeeFriends, I knew I was launching it super early. I knew that I wanted to finally build my WWF, because I'll always call it that instead of WWE, my Pokemon, my Disney, and that I wanted to spend the next 40 years building these characters. Empathy Elephant, Patient Panda, right? Flexing Fox. That I was gonna do this, that I wanted that creative IP. I was gonna build my Transformers. But because I knew it was so new, I decided to put in the contract that it's also a ticket to 3 years of VCon, which is like a South by Southwest, Davos. It's going to be at US Bank Stadium in Minnesota, May 19th to 22nd. Ridiculous lineup of speakers, right? And so I knew that I could create some upfront value that would let my audience be patient while I developed the IP and the NFTs developed so they understood what they were actually getting. So when you say, hey, we got a crazy audience, which everyone's aware of, what are they going to get besides the flex? A, let's not demoralize the flex.
Yeah.
Many people, we don't razz on Kith or Palace or Fear of God that they're delivering you a hoodie for $1.50 that delivers the flex. We actually think that's phenomenal. And I do. It's how communities are built. So there's like, that doesn't need to be demonized. Now, if whatever imagery you guys come up with also gives you access to this virtually, access to that physically, your annual Super Bowl party, the only way you get in is with the token. A big thing in Toronto once a year as an homage to how it, like, one day eventually, what about 1% royalty? What about if an NFT represented 1% royalty of this?
So one question with that though, I feel like it's Bob, it's like is it Gary, like a modern day club membership in a way?
It can be. You know, it can be very directly, like I said. Like, for example, full disclosure, I'm thinking about buying real estate, even maybe an island where holders can have access to. We've seen Soho House. We're in New York City. Zero Bond is phenomenal. Like, sure, it can be a physical membership. And then there's the subconscious human membership. These Nikes, that NYPD hat, that happy, like when you walk in an airport and you see somebody have a hoodie or sneakers that you fuck with and you know that many people don't know, you immediately feel family. Or what we've always done, when I see somebody walking in New York City wearing a Jets hat, that person's my fucking family.
100%. Get that all the time.
We've been tribal from the get. This is now a way for verified digital tribalness in perpetuity. But what's even more interesting for the issuers of the NFTs is there's a royalty contract similar to publishing music or books that creates economics that we have not seen before. When somebody resells a VeeFriend, I get a royalty. Those become profound economics, which is why The Weeknd has a $60 million home. If you hit in royalty land, there's real money.
I'm more
So every time someone buys and sells Gary's NFT,
he's gonna make
he gets 10%.
But you have to understand why that's a big deal. When Fleer sold the Michael Jordan cards, they got like 8 cents. When I sell one right now for $600,000, that doesn't go back to Fleer. In NFT land in the next 100 years, it will.
Do you get all that 10% or do you put some into like a community wallet?
I went with all my 10% because I'm taking those dollars like a business and reinvesting them in the, I need to make.
Like V conference.
Yeah, correct. VCon is costing me a fucking fortune every year for 3 years. But I also need to launch a TV show, children's books, apparel line. I need to buy slotting fees at Walmart for my stuff. Like I'm trying to run $1 billion company, so I need those royalties. Other people have shared the royalties. Other people have said the community owns it. Look at Bored Ape, the most famous one. They don't own it. The community owns it. So now people are going to monetize their apes.
They give all 10% to a community wallet?
No, they have the commercial rights. The person that
right.
owns the Bored Ape has the commercial rights. Bored Ape still gets a royalty.
But what is step one though? So say you have to put in those 50
Do
hours.
what I did in January. What is an NFT? Enter.
Enter on Google.
That's right.
Okay.
And by the way, watch both try to watch both versions. Go into something called twitter.com, you know it.
Yep.
And type in hashtag NFT and just fucking read shit. You got to start from the fucking dirt. And you just fucking read and listen, read and listen. I can't read for shit. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos and listened to podcasts. Bob, you're a great reader.
Right.
So
you say you have $500 in your bank account. You want to get in the NFT space, and you don't know what the fuck to do. You gotta want to commit 50 hours of fucking work and however you're saying.
Did you say you want to or you don't want to?
Saying there's a kid who's watching this right now.
Doesn't want to or does?
Who wants to.
Good, that's good.
Who's interested in fucking doing this. He has nothing to his name.
Yep.
He has $500 in his bank account. And he wants to fucking get in the NFT space. He needs to commit 50 hours to this fucking world that you're saying of learning.
And then what I would do if I'm that kid is once I've got 50 hours in the bag, I would ask a successful project to be a moderator in their Discord and let them pay me in ETH or Solana to do that.
So break that down a little more though.
Yeah, so right now NFTs are expensive. Way too expensive for $500 land. You know where my brain immediately goes to go garage sailing with that $500 and turn it into 5,000 in 6 months and then go shopping. Right. But if we're playing just in this narrow place, spend the 50 hours. Now you got your shit a little bit tighter and go find a top project in ETH or Solana or Magic, some of these chains, these are blockchains, and say to Alien Friends, FRENS right now, which is doing well, you hit up the founder on Twitter or you tweet them or you tweet their account and say, hey, I want to work as a moderator on your Discord for free or to get paid, because then you can start building your bag, because $500 is very hard right now. Unfortunately, it will come down.
Right.
But that's where we're at.
So you're saying this is a space that kind of only the big players can play in?
No.
No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm saying that there's a lot of people that spent $700 on a Bored Ape that just sold it for $400,000, and that's fucking insane.
Right.
I'm also saying that's rare and far and few in between, and I think people lack patience.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's now culture, and why not have some patience and fucking get some dirt under your fingers for a year, and instead of trying to invest $500 because you're going to make $4,000, which means 99% of the time you're going to lose, why don't you eat some shit for a year, build up your bag a little bit more, and then maybe in 9 or 12 months have $5,000 and a fuckload more education to go and do something smart. Everybody just wants shit right this fucking second.
Right.
Bob.
Yeah. How do you think this space could crumble if it ever did?
Well, it's definitely, in the macro, it won't crumble because I'm completely convinced that the blockchain is now here to stay. But again, internet stocks in 2000 all went to zero except a couple. Like literally, Bob, again, you're a youngster now.
Shut the fuck up.
Brother, in March of 2000, all these internet companies were worth billions. You might have heard of pets.com is the famous thing that is referenced. You're real young, so I'm going to break it down for you. 95, the internet starts coming.
We only got 9 years, by the way.
I get it. 95, the internet's starting to come. By 99 and 2000, all these companies are public, but they're making no money, but they're worth billions, making no money. All of a sudden, kind of like how markets work, the market decided, wait a minute, this is bullshit, and the whole thing crumbles in March of 2000. Amazon goes from whatever it was to like a couple dollars. If you'd bought Amazon in March and April of 2000, I actually asked my team today in a meeting, I'm like, can you tell me what would happen if you bought Amazon for $1,000 worth of Amazon in April of 2000 at its lowest point? What would it be worth today? The number's staggering. That's gonna happen with this. Do I believe that VeeFriends or Bored Ape or Punks or the best stuff, X-Copy people could go to 10 cents of the dollar that's now down 90%? The answer is yes. Do I personally secretly can't wait for that moment so I can take my USD, buy my Ethereum, and buy up the shit that I decide did a good job in the first 100 days of the carnage? Operationally, it's the fucking moment of my career. I can't wait.
So you think even the big projects are going to tank?
Yes, because when the entire market tanks, everything tanks. So something's going to happen because there's too much greed right now. To your point, like every influencer, like these, I don't understand what these influencers are doing. I don't understand. First of all, they're not disclosing. Like, I'll give you $1,000 to pump my fucking stork. Like, okay. Like, I don't understand. Like, people are so fucking obsessed with short-term money that they do such dumb shit.
Mm-hmm. But you think that'll make even the big projects crash?
I do. That is my prediction. Because here's why. I'll tell you why, what I learned. Because everybody thinks, because a lot of people are so confused by the whole thing will go. Right? Like, it's the internet stock thing. People know how to become rich. People don't know how to get wealthy. Rich is you take the 10,000 for the quick bag. Wealthy is you never compromise your name in perpetuity so that you can win in the end.
Okay, so how do they do the investigative process to figure out if it's a good deal or not?
You take $20,000 to promote a fucking NFT project that you know nothing about.
Right.
Because you know other people that are watching you are going to spend $800 to buy it. So you're going to take $20,000 so that all your audience loses its $800. That's not going to work out.
Okay.
Bitcoin, because it's fucking Bitcoin, is going to keep doing its thing. And guess what? There'll be 10, 5, 9 NFT projects that will be here in 2037. VeeFriends is going to be one of them.